with Venus coming through your sign, you'll start to feel a lot more like yourself. You'll feel more aligned, more comfortable with yourself, more attractive to the world and to your significant long-term love partner who will gaze upon you if you have one, or your audience, marketplace, and clients as if you are a superstar. Hey, Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. Wow, wow. You're going to start feeling like yourself again in the month of September. Whatever has been taking you down, including maybe some challenges with your significant other, if you have one, is going to start to lighten up. And at the same time, the month of September 2026 for Scorpios, sun, moon, and rising, also opens up some unexpected possibilities for money coming your way in a chunk of money. And this is good for land, property, legacy wealth, inheritances, and all of those matters. But money things can happen in surprising ways that turn up the dial on your prosperity. I feel like this is a month for you to really settle into your own sense of well-being. Venus will be with you in Scorpio for most of September. And this is when you get your once a year glow up. And that means you might feel more attractive, more beautiful, more in your own skin, more rested, more happy with your life, more happy with who you are. It vitalizes you to have the goddess of beauty and love and pleasure in your sign. And that's a big deal every year. We're coming off the eclipses. So we'll be talking about what that means for you as well. Those eclipses in August are still ruffling through the energy of the month of September. We'll lightly touch down there. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, this is Western Tropical Zodiac Astrology. I am your astrologer, Lori Lothian. Now, I think that a lot of Scorpios here are probably wondering, I would wonder too, about how this astrology works, sun, moon, and rising, because you guys are ever curious and exploratory. And that's why we have my video editor, Stella, always telling you the difference between sun, moon, and rising in the little clip she inserts here somewhere. That said, I hope you'll join me then in this adventure through the month of September. And for some of you sleuthy Scorpios out there who might want to learn astrology, this is your perfect time. I teach my Sky Reader class every single fall. This is going to be coming up on the 19th of September, running 7 weekends in a row. We have guest teachers, 6 instead of 4. We have 7 weeks instead of 6 this year. I extended it. We have a huge number of resources for you, a Facebook group, a Discord group to meet other students. No, you're not being certified. You're reading the map of time. Reading the map of time. Your life is mapped on time, and time is told by the sky. The sky is your navigational GPS of navigating through time. So come learn with me. It's time. This might be the last one I teach. I don't know. But information about my course is at the end of this video. Check the timestamp. There's an outro talking more about it, but also in the description box under here at lorilothian.com, you will be able to access the write-up about the course, all the features, all the times, all the guest teachings, and more. So check that out below as well. All right, so I'd love to see you in class. All right, guys. You guys are Scorpionic. Mars is your ruler, just like Aries. Guess what? Mars has been in really rough shape. I don't know. It's like having a hangover from hell for the last 6 weeks. Mars in the sign of Cancer at the top of your sky. You might have been working too hard in your job, in your 10th house, working too hard to be showing the world how super wonderbar you are. It's just like a lot of energy up there, and emotions as well. Mars is not so great in the emotional moon sign of Cancer. Oops. Sorry. I've been doing so many videos in your 9th house, I mean, but it's still a top of the sky house. And it's a house where you kind of end up feeling like you're pushing like down the runway of focus on your career, focus on your success in the top of the sky, focus on your work, focus on the money you're making in your career, focus on all of that stuff. Mars in the 9th house might have been a trial and a tribulation, because when the Lord of your sign is under water in the Cancer swimming pool, other than doing Tai Chi or martial arts that have flowing movements, you probably felt way off your game. Mars is here for 2 years, 2 months every, roughly 6 weeks to 2 months every 2 years. So it's not entirely unusual for you to feel this discontent. And on August the 11th through to September 27th, yeah, that's his Mars in Cancer story. So I want to give you a bit of advice. Don't know when you're seeing this video, maybe the 3rd week of August through to the end of September. Be kind to yourself. All right, just be gentle with yourself. Mars is applying in a trine to your sun, your moon, or your rising. And even though he's fallen or in rough shape in the sign of Cancer, he's still doing his best to be an ally. And he's your desire, your willpower, your motivation, like the energy of the will to choose. And what you're trying to choose one way or another right now could be a little bit off base, right? Especially if you're trying to figure out what your life purpose is. And for those of you who have grandchildren troubles may have prevailed in the weeks that followed August 11th to September 28th. You might have had difficulty with educational figures, therapists, mentors, travel, disabilities with travel, long distance, things not working out, passport not available, who knows? Well, the good news is that's coming to an end at the end of September. The other good news in September, and I'm going to show you the sky, is Venus, the Lord of your sign, the Lord of not your sign, just Venus, the good girl in your sign. So we can start off the month with a few stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If I seem a little discombobulated, I just got over a heavy-duty acupuncture session yesterday, an hour. It was very intense to do with a rotator cuff thing and my neck. And so I'm doing my best. Be kind. I have a little bit of, I don't know, discombobulation and tiredness today. I'm recording in early August for September. So, hello guys. You always ask me, rising sign, sun or moon, how do I listen to this thing in astrology? Well, your sun is who you really are. Think of it about your spiritual essence, your divine light, the flame of your soul that lives forever, takes on a body, and that body is the ascendant. You might think of your sun sign like the actor who plays the role in the movie. Your sun is the real you, and the role you're playing in the movie, well, that's your rising sign. You tend to look like that sign. You tend to act like the personhood of that character in the simulation. It is not your real self, but you need a vehicle for your spirit to express. And when we look at your moon sign, we think about how you feel and think about life, your happiness, your emotional blueprint, your subjective well-being. But you remember the moon is only reflecting the light of the spiritual essence of you, the sun. So therefore, it's a temporary aspect or an operating system for your consciousness. I see a lot of the time that people's moon sign is really useful when you want to see how you're going to feel about this sky, but it also connects you very strongly to energies of home, safety, nest, and mother. The moon is that stuff to do with the nurturant part of reality. When we talk about your sun sign, it can be father related material, but also connections to your purpose and career. For your soul is inherited, is on planet Earth to do something, right? And we usually call that a purpose of some kind. And lastly, the ascendant, very sensitive to your body, very sensitive to the fates and the circumstances of life. That is where your rising sign is, how you showed up, took the first breath of life. What was the sign on the eastern horizon at the time of birth? That's what the rising sign is. And it's very accurate for delineating astrology, at least until the age of mid-40s. And we begin to move back into our true self, into our solar energy. And we'll notice that our sun sign becomes as accurate or can be more and more actively useful for prediction. Already, sometimes you'll look at children for the first 7 years and they're operating primarily on sun sign energy. So when you're looking at your kids, definitely listen for their sun sign over their rising sign. All right, guys, here's that short form. Take it away. Let's go into the chart ahead. I kind of want to mention that, looking at the sky, you got your vibe on, right? You're really waiting for this. You're waiting for Venus to get out of the 12th house, which is not bad for meditation, sleep, quietude, solitude. It's fine. But you want her here because then she's going to fortify you. So just be aware that that's happening this month on the 10th. And when she enters into Scorpio on the 10th, and she'll be here for a long, long time to Tipperary, she'll be here until October the 25th. Because of retrogradation on October 3rd. So she comes in instead of 3 weeks, she's here for 7 weeks or something. So with Venus coming through your sign, you'll start to feel a lot more like yourself. You'll feel more aligned, more comfortable with yourself, more attractive to the world and to your significant long-term love partner who will gaze upon you if you have one, or your audience, marketplace, and clients as if you are a superstar. I think that Venus and Scorpio is a little bit like that. Come on, baby, light my fire. Was that guy Jim Morrison kind of music? Sultry, sexy music. But you are that music to yourself. And you're letting your own sultry, sexy fire in your own inner scorpionic swamp. So Venus is with you. So good for your attractiveness, wardrobe, appearance, likability, charm, persuasive abilities with others, and just feeling better about your life. Now, one thing I want to mention about this, it's so important for you to consider. She arrives on the doorstep of your first house, or your sun moon house, your sun and moon. We rotate them to be in the first house, called derived houses. She connects with your place of your sun, your moon, or your rising. And this is the 10th of September. And then on October 3rd, she has a change of mind and goes backwards. She only makes it to the 8th degree of Scorpio. What does that mean? It means that she has to go back and figure out something. No, she's not ready to go forward. For those of you with your scorpionic sun or moon or rising degree between 0 and, say, 10 degrees, you feel this backward pull. And for my guidance to you, although you're feeling great about yourself, is to not make any major Venusian choices and decisions about your life until she comes back again later on this year in direct motion through your sign. So anything you're engaging in, September 10th, October 3rd, may be wrong-footed. And this is also decisions about your audience, your marketplace, and your significant other in marriage. So wait it out and give yourself more time to clarify what it is you're trying to figure out. Let's start with the September 1st time frame. On September 1st, on September 1st, we see Mercury. What is Mercury up to? He's in a flow to poor, debilitated Mars. That's okay. At least he's in his home kingdom. He has more strength. Mars is telling him what to do. But Mercury has more internal integrity here. So Mercury wants to make a deal, make a decision, have a conversation or an idea about your career gains in some area of your life, and maybe your also friendship group circles and your long range plans and goals for your whole life. And he's with the sun coming off of Gazimi in August. So there has been a reset button here. But to me, with Mars applying to him from your 9th house, some of your decisions or actions or ideas or conversations that are happening on the last day of August and the first day of September have to do with your situation when it comes to your purpose and what it is you're trying to create in this life. Maybe they're decisions specifically connected to foreign people, foreign lands, and foreign journeys, or higher educational setting decisions, right? Mars is up there. But also grandchildren and decisions and actions and ideas. There's something going on, information is being exchanged, news is showing up. Look for a conversation with a friend, intersection with a sibling, one older. These are people who have important information about your direction in life, and they're giving it to you at the end of August and the first day of September. Now, it could be guidance, like someone's guiding you, or giving you good advice. So as we continue into the story, we're going to notice that we have another tale to tell. We always have a tale to tell in astrology, don't we, guys? It is that there's a gritty tension around the 26th of August, and it plows right through the first 3 or 4 days of September. And that is Mars square Saturn. And because both planets are fallen, it's not very positive for most of us. We feel very frustrated or very foot on the gas, parking brake on, sluggish on something we want to move forward in. Now, you might want to move forward on work situations, health situations, pets and rental property situations, foreign distant land travel, higher educational opportunities. These are just a few examples. Work in publishing, book publishing, work in international travel. But whatever this is, and it could be also about moving forward in matters to do with your health, there is a sense that you want to push forward over time with caution and go slow. Saturn, retrograde, connected to health issues, rental situations, pets, or work situations from your past. And there's some driving force that wants to move forward. This is definitely out of alignment and feels very gritty. Now, the gritty feeling of push-pull, shove and push and pull, and nothing quite lining up, don't worry, because it's going to resolve itself, because Jupiter is also moving into harmony with Saturn. Saturn is that patience, the tortoise and the hare around health, around work, around livelihood, around job, around career success. Patience is the winning formula here. Discipline and perseverance is a winning formula here. Sometimes Mars can look like a human resource department or a headhunter or a LinkedIn thing. I mean, and over here, Jupiter's this opportunity connected to the past, coming your way, maybe past lives, maybe the past recently, South Node, and it's going to give you a career glow up in the next 12 months. But right now, this part of the year feels really challenging for you, really gritty. Now, this is your visible reputation in the world, and Jupiter rules the house of children. Are you showing up as a parent? Is that the main role you play in the eyes of others? Well, there is patience and perseverance and discipline at the job of parenting, but there's frustration and there's grit as well. And you're feeling that last week of August and the first week of September. There's just some examples for you. With Jupiter ruling your money and your cash flow kind of vibe, like your earnings, pocketbook, wallet, Saturn is maybe saying, well, it's slow, it's contained and constricted. So this could translate as worries about money the last week of August and the first week of September. Because of the Mars square is frustration. But Jupiter will solve the problem, find the solution, and make you feel just fine. Trust me on that one. Now, I've been talking to a lot of Scorpios about the potential with Uranus Pluto to have an inheritance or sudden money coming in. And we're going to bring that conversation up again because it really plays out more strongly in September. You could get a giant check out of the blue in the month of September, coming through even at the end of August. The new moon of September the 10th is going to be in Virgo, and it will be right here, and it will be at 18 degrees. What do I like about this for you guys? Well, first of all, I want you to think of that part of you that sits down and visualizes your future, all your wishes and hopes and dreams, what you imagine could happen here. September 10th and 11th, the moon is here, and you are going to be having a fresh start. You're going to redesign your life, reboot your dreams and wishes for your life. And specifically with Mercury in the 12th house, some of this re-envisioning is happening in solitude or creative downtime. This can be where you're dreaming at night, you're spending time alone, or when you are alone, you're in your creative sphere. And you might even be in your bed pleasures as well. But whatever you're doing here, you're using that stimulus, so to speak, to vision, dream, and contemplate from stillness, solitude, and quietude what you wish to do in your long-range goals and dreams. And pay attention to nocturnal dreams at night kind of vibe. They're your best friend. That new moon is going to play out over 2 to 3 weeks after September 10th, 11th, and it will play out, of course, even more fully in the 6 months that follow. And it can lead to a whole new job or career path and new money-making endeavors as well. All right. Sun and Mars are sextiling each other for a long time, September 11th to 17. That's unusual. September 11th to 17, we have a long sustained contact. The sun is shining a light again in your dreams, goals, visions, and Mars is pushing the sun to really light up big and look at what is in line with purpose. It's not enough to make money in your career, have great life gains, success in your career. If you're not, you don't feel aligned with your purpose, your dharma, your meaning of life. That's what Mars is pushing for. He's a little bit grumpy, he's a little bit aggressive, and your sun is shining brightly here, and they're trying to work together. Now, a solar figure that can come into your life to be of assistance. That can be a father figure, a male friend, a person in a position of authority and influence, maybe giving you a leg up or some support here between September 11th and September 17th. And because, of course, Mars is also the ruler of your work house, this could also be about work opportunities, getting a light shone on them, but you're looking for someone in positions of like a friend with benefits, to help you find that job or increase that money from work. On September the 12th to the 14th, in that little window, we have the big, beautiful Bill, the big trine. So Mercury moves into Libra out of his home kingdom. And as he does, he's going to form some very lucky aspects. And so let's talk about that deal. Mercury was in Virgo from August the 25th to September 9th, a very short stay, relatively speaking. And then on September 10th to the 30th, he moves into Libra. This is, as I said, solitude, alone time, thinking, dreaming at night. It's ruled by Venus, and Venus is right now in your sign. So Venus is saying, in your sleep, in your solitude, dreams, insights, and ideas are trying to come to you. End of story. But there's more to it than that. Why? Because watch this. As Mercury moves forward, he begins to create not only a trine, but a kite. The trine is all about the air in the house of chunky money and family of origin money and land and property and real estate, spousal support, shared resources, and in-law money. And over here, money from far off lands and shores, but also Mercury, news. Now, news can be in the 12th house, kind of blindsiding a bit, especially with the shock of Uranus. And this can indicate, under this kind of sky, that there is a legacy transfer of wealth coming to you. Now, it doesn't mean the person has to be sick or in the dying, if they can. This is the house of news from a hospital, but it means that you know all of a sudden that maybe there's some money up your family line that's destined for you. Whether you receive the money or not, this is the news, the information of some chunks of money that could come to you. Also, investments in stock markets could suddenly take off. Some one of your investments could take off on this axis as well. There's the wealth, though, that comes from underneath the ground, which is the ground of your own ancestral line. So there is some kind of surprise. And with Jupiter in the house of father figures, it's more likely from a male figure than it is a female in your lineage. Just saying. And you'll see why more that's true in a bit more time. Otherwise, I'm saying you're having either an enlightenment episode or an surprising increase of chunky money episode coming through your sky during this glow up of the 12th to the 14th of September. And then it's pointing to your sixth house. It'll help you eliminate debts, credit cards, bank loans, mortgages. It'll blow debts away if you need to blow them away, or give you incredible positive opportunities in work connected to chunks of money. Sign-on bonus, severance package, here's some money. Some of you might have unexpected opportunities to retire off of this as well. Venus and Pluto, September the 12th to 17th, are having a square, which is hard energy, difficult, challenging energy between two planets. These guys together represent trillionaire wealth, okay, when they're in harmony, but they're in conflict. But we see the wealth, we see the gold, we see the treasure chest in the fourth house, and we see Venus squaring Pluto all the way from September 12th to 17th. You are seeing something that you desire, which is wealth, and you're feeling a conflict and a woundedness around it. Now, seeing this desire for this wealth and a woundedness can also be coming through money from in-laws or woundedness around money you and a spouse are sharing. Your spouse has been dealing since June 19th with health challenges, and this health challenge or wounded quality of there being likely a health challenge, medical, if you have a spouse, okay? Chiron here is going to leave on September 17th, 18th, and then your spouse will start to feel better. But this could also be a blowout with a spouse and really over something really deep, like where you and your spouse in the house kind of thing are having a transformative intensity of disclosure, uncovering and revealing. At the best you can go is the power of love and the power of vulnerability and exposure and intimacy at a new level. But no worries, if you've been married to somebody who seems a little bit all out of sorts since 19th of June, and that's going to end, this person getting a relief in their life, and you're going to feel much better about being with that person. I can relate to that. My poor son's, wife, and she's pregnant, and then she had a baby, and I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, she's wonderful. I love her, but it's literally not easy when you're new parents. Newborn just came out. My first grandchild recently. All right, so, and she had health complications in her pregnancy. See what I mean? So there's just that vibe. And for everybody, it's going to be different. This could be a blowout over wealth and power with a business partner. And you're persuasive, charming, and charismatic. Don't worry about the Venus in her condition of her exile. You may feel exiled from your marriage partner, exiled from your business partnerships, exiled from your home relationships, right? You're feeling like the outsider or exiled from those connections. That's all. But, this is going to smooth out. No worries about it. Trust me. All right, so have another story for you. We're going to talk about it. September 18th, Mercury will give you a difficult conversation, a hard conversation, or hard news. Mercury will be opposite Saturn, and that means some kind of information, news is coming your way that you consider difficult. That's all best I can tell you. I doubt it's a conversation, but it could be, but it's probably not, because this is not really a talky house, the 12th. Information or circumstances are hard on the 17th, 18th of the month, 19th of the month. It may involve debts. It may involve hospitals. It may involve pets. It may involve rental properties. It may involve work situations. And then from that situation that is difficult or hard, and it may involve inheritance monies and chunky money and resources from your in-laws as well. From that hard conversation that is had, or that hard moment of disclosure or understanding or information, there is a solution that arrives only a few days later. So the epicenter of difficulty is the 18th, but on the 21st of September, Jupiter smooths things out and finds a solution, as he's prone to do all of the time. So here we have around the 21st, a day or two before, Jupiter saw that kerfuffle with Saturn and Mercury, and now he's applying towards Mercury and saying, I've got a solution. The solution can come from a father figure, a boss, something to do with authority figures and work. And it may involve opportunities for livelihood. It may also involve opportunities for debt repayment. It may also involve opportunities to smooth out rough edges of investment monies or monies from stocks or monies from inheritances or monies from the in-laws, and smoothing out rough edges so that everybody leaves the party happy. So don't worry about the 18th, day or two before on either side. Go to the 21st, a day or two on either side, and look for the answer or the silver lining after the storm. All right. On the 26th of the month, we're going to have a moon in Aries. And on the 24th to the 26th, the sun is opposite Neptune while trining Pluto. Let's bring our attention to the story. So here we have 24th to the 26th, sun moves into Libra and is in opposing position to the god of confusion and delusion. While he is retrograde, he's already pulling back the rose-colored glasses and throwing them in the garbage bin to give you a pair of really good spectacles for reality. This is about your health, and this is a very redemptive sky. And then the sun shines in the house of addictions and self-undoing, and that includes everything like binging on foods, having substance misuse disorders. But you're having a moment of time here where the sun is telling you to take care of your health and not have sickness in your life. Simple, right? Very strong energy here with Neptune to move away from drugs of any kind. Neptune represents intoxicants, including alcohol, and Saturn is sober, and your health depends on it. Chiron is back here as of September the 18th, trying to find healers, chiropractors, acupuncturists, nutritionists, or whatever, coaches, mentors, guiders, shamans, to heal the sickness in your life. And the sun will be here for 30 days. So it's good for a 30-day hard stop cleanse, right? You can go there. Why not? Gosh. That will be like I do it. Watch this. Like here, I kind of go right here. I go like September 23rd at 30 days, hard stop on some difficult health challenges that you have, mostly self-inflicted under this sky. However, this is a son, a father figure in a hospital setting with Mr. News guy Mercury. Now, what happens is that there is a father figure, a dispelling of confusion around real structures and forms connected to debts and indebtedness, property, land, and real estate, and legacy wealth and inheritance. As soon as the sun goes here, that clarity is also showing up as well. So take it or leave it. The moon is full at 3 Aries. It will happen on the 27th of the month. This is a part of your chart that has to do with your health. And there's a full light to show you where your health challenges are and show you the way, reveal the way for you to heal challenges to your health at this time. And with Mars, your body ruling your body for ascendant in Scorpio, in debility, you've probably been going through a couple of months of neglect of your body, whether it's not enough movement or the food style is all wrong for you or something like that. Now, this is positive because we will say something along the lines of a full light shining here is revealing what needs to be done. It's also showing you your relationship to pets, debts, rental properties, and work situations under a revelatory light. But back on April 17th, you planted a seed here. You went, I am going to do something to change my health, to change my body, to change my wellness, to change and watch out for head problems with you, face and head. My son has, I'm going to his health problems, but wow, it's the stuff that's happened to his face and head. This is the Aries part of the sky. But I think you might need to look here at also not just health, because there's also situations here about debts, right? And it can be real or karmic anyway. Take your pick. There is a light to show you the way under the seeds that you planted in April for debt repatriation, paying off debt, removing and eliminating debt. A seed in April about taking on a debt. Now you want to complete or fulfill it and end the debt alone. Or maybe something to do with pets or something to do with work. Seed planted April, fulfillment, light, and clarity. On this full moon, on April the 27th. Give it a 2 or 3 week window to see what it's really about. Okay? And the moon is ruled by Mars, but Mars is about to change signs. And that's the good news, because the moon on the 27th, let's move the moon to the here. Here we have it. So, and you're dispelling your illusions about your how long you can neglect your health, how long you can neglect a pet, how long you can not service your debts or something. But the good news, I want to give you good news, right? Is that although the lunation is exact on the 27th, the ruler of the lunation crosses the next day on the 28th into your 10th house. And a lot of the solutions to your problems come from father figures in your ancestral line. It comes from generosity and expansive growth in your career. It comes from a sense of determination, passion, ambition, and movement and decisions that change everything. Your health and your money are going to move into the right direction. When will the move happen? Anytime beginning on the 28th of the month of September, all the way through until November 25th. This is where things begin to look up, and especially positive for major life decisions and turning points in career and money situations that improve your financial wellness. By December, some of you are going to be in new jobs, in new positions of work, and quite grateful for it based on this build up for this sky. The only downside is that as Mars crosses the barrier, he's going to be opposing Pluto. And that energy means conflict, like a power struggle. Yet at the same time, we see the goodness of the sun trining Uranus. So if you go back to the 12th to the 14th, Mercury trined Uranus for a surprise, an unexpected development, out of the blue, chunky money. Now the sun is anchoring that same story. For example, news or information that there's an inheritance coming your way back in mid-September. Now the inheritance is delivered, for example. But the surprise still is here. So there's something, I'm giving you examples. This is not everybody's chart. But there is a positive light connected to father figures and money that shows up at the end of the month. But the power struggle coming in the last 3 or 4 days of September is Mars opposite Pluto. And yet at the same time, the sun is trining Pluto. So what does it mean? How does it work out? What would you do with this story, right? Well, as Mars moves forward, he kind of goes into, it's so hard to see everything. It's making me dizzy. He kind of goes into trying to mitigate with your career direction or your worldly aspirations for success. And he's opposite Pluto. And I feel like you're going to have, with a T-square to this moon on September 28th, a real intense power struggle with an important legal situation or an important female in your life, especially if it's a business or love arrangement, especially if it involves shared resources with a business or love partner, or a legal contractual agreements. Mars is the lord of your sign, and he's got the upper hand, and he's in a good place of fire with lucky Jupiter. If you have to go to battle over legal or contractual stuff, for example, you should win. And what the battle is for is riches or wealth or prosperity, either through chunks of money or even work and work-related matters. And I think the good news is that you have the upper hand, and you should do very, very well. Mars will be up here, as I said, for a long time, and this can make you very ambitious about your work, but it might also make you want to change your home. So be aware of that August 28th to November 25th. Some of you might be having a hankering to move, and with a trine to Saturn coming, maybe to a rental property rather than a purchase. Let's see what happens. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the end of this video where you now have the outro where you can look at more about Sky Reader. I'm looking forward to teaching it in the third week of September. I'm hoping some of you will come to class. All right, take care.